AMD's RX 8800 XT performance is a thing of beauty. But before I get to that, Intel just axed their CEO. Ryzen 10,000 is set to be a huge performance jump, and specs for Intel's entire Battlemage lineup just leaked. Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. First up for today, it looks like Intel's newest CEO, Pat Gelsinger, has officially retired from the company. Of course, I use air quotes because it's pretty clear what actually happened. Pat Gelsinger was brought in to right the sinking ship after previous CEO Bob Swan failed time and time again with missed deadlines on releases. But given the fact that Intel's stock has since collapsed with thousands of workers being fired, the botched Core Ultra 200 series, their failed foundry business, it's pretty clear that Pat Gelsinger was forced out. In fact, Bloomberg has since confirmed that he was forced out due to a lack of progress. In his place, Intel has since confirmed two senior leaders, David Zisner and Michelle Johnson-Holthass, hopefully I pronounced those right, as interim CEOs until they can find a replacement. Hopefully something good comes of this because, like I've said multiple times, even if you love AMD, you want Intel to succeed. Or if you love Intel, you want AMD to succeed because competition will always fuel innovation. If Intel goes away, AMD will do exactly what Intel did when they dominated the market for years. Of course, Qualcomm is looking like real competition with their X-Elite chips, but they're not competing in every sector. Simply put, we should all want Intel to succeed. And next up for today, it looks like AMD will finally up the core count of their Ryzen CPUs for next gen. Now before I get to that, I've gotta ask, do you know how things like PC memory actually works? What about all the new AI tech? How does ChatGPT know what to say? Luckily, you can find answers to all of this and more at the only place I trust to learn computer science and today's sponsor, Brilliant. What's awesome is that if you visit brilliant.org/gamermeld right now, you can actually try it out completely free. If you didn't know, Brilliant is a one-of-a-kind online learning platform that's made to teach you the right way. For starters, the courses have been crafted by an award-winning team of professionals from MIT, Duke, Microsoft, Google, and more, which is probably why they teach you with these really fun and engaging puzzles. No more boring lectures or any of that. You actually learn by getting in there and doing it yourself. So learn how I do by visiting brilliant.org/gamermeld to get your free trial. Plus, when you use my link, you'll get 20% off your annual premium. Once again, that's brilliant.org/gamermeld. Now, back to the story. In a new leak from Moore's Law is Dead, he actually got a chance to look at a variant of Zen 6 Medusa and Zen 6 Venice. For those who didn't know, Medusa is set to be the codename for AMD's next generation Ryzen CPUs, likely the Ryzen 10,000 series, though obviously we don't know the naming scheme for sure just yet, but given this information is accurate, it makes perfect sense for AMD to release Zen 6 under the 10,000 series. Specifically, both Medusa Ridge CPUs and Medusa Point APUs are apparently set to come with 12-core CCDs. That means we could see Ryzen CPUs with as many as 24 cores. Remember that AMD uses a chiplet-based design on their processors, which is a huge reason for their success. Simply put, they're able to take small, high-yield dies and combine them using the Infinity Fabric to make a single chip. For current gen Zen 5 Ryzen, AMD uses up to 2 chiplets with 8 cores per chiplet, but these are using 4 more cores per chiplet, and according to this, AMD is using full Zen 6 cores, so there won't be any little Zen 6C cores or anything like that. As for the Medusa variant that he actually got a chance to look at, as you can see, he claims that it seems to be a 128-bit bus with 16 CUs, which are of course the integrated GPU cores, and the whole thing is apparently set to be built on 3 nanometers. At the end of the day, next gen is set to be a huge performance jump, which is of course why I think AMD will stick to the 10,000 series. That's of course a nice round number that would make sense given the massive change from current gen to next gen. Either way, I'm definitely excited for Zen 6. And next up for today, a new leak just revealed Intel's upcoming Arc Battlemage GPU release. As you can see right down here, there are spec sheets for the upcoming ASRock GPUs that give us all the details. Starting things off, as the recent leak suggests, Intel is set to release 2 GPUs. This one being the B570 Challenger and the B580 Steel Legend. When it comes to the B570, as you can see right down here, this one comes with 18 Xe2 cores and 10 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. When it comes to the clocks, it's rated at, and of course this is just for the Challenger, we're not really sure about other GPUs, this could be overclocked, things like that, but as of this, it comes with a GPU clock of 2600 megahertz, and the GDDR6 is 19 gigabits per second. Moving over to the interface, and of course, once again, this is just based on the Challenger GPU. The actual B570 that you purchase, if you were to get one, may have something different, but here it comes with 1 HDMI 2.1 port and 3 DisplayPort 2.1s. Not only that, but it comes with a recommended PSU requirement of around 600 watts. Moving back to the B580, this one doesn't actually show the cores, but it comes with just 2 more Xe cores, bringing it to 20 Xe2 cores. This one for the GPU clock is 2800 megahertz, and it actually comes with 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, though it is the same 19 gigabit per second. This one also comes with 3 DisplayPort 2.1 ports and 1 HDMI 2.1 port. Then for the recommended PSU here, we're looking at 650 watts. So ultimately, I think it's pretty clear that these won't be 5090 killers or anything even close to that. Really, they may not even be 5070 killers. But given they're priced well enough, especially if Nvidia goes up on their prices, these cards could be actual winners. But there, I guess time, as always, will tell. And lastly for today, AMD's next-gen RX 8800 XT is set to be an absolute monster of a GPU. As you can see right down here, this story originally comes from this leaker on the ChipHell forums, and like WCCF Tech claims, this is the same leaker who accurately revealed the Ryzen 9800 X3D launch dates, so obviously he's someone with inside information. Either way, according to him, let me bring this up right here. As you can see, he states, AIBs officially started mass production in mid-December, and given the rumors that we've heard for when these are set to release, that definitely makes sense. Then he states, although it is ready for mass production, there are still some minor bugs. That's of course something at least somewhat to be expected, but the really big stuff here is, as you can see, it says power consumption compared to the 7900 XTX is down by 25%. But at the same time, it states that ray tracing compared to the 7900 XTX is up 45%. He goes on to basically state that we're looking at around a 4080 to 4080 Super level of performance. Now, given the fact that we're talking actual power consumption is down 25% and yet is still around 4080, 4080 Super level of performance, and ray tracing is up by a whopping 45%, that would seriously make the 8800 XT an absolute monster of a GPU. Now, that obviously wouldn't put it on the level of the RTX 5090 or probably even the 5080, but we've known for a while that AMD was going to be more in the mid-range with their next gen. But here's the thing, if this is right and AMD prices this well, it could be a huge win for the company. Perhaps even something on the level of an RX 480 release, or maybe even better. Fingers crossed. So while that does it for today, are you getting excited for AMD's next-gen GPUs? While obviously they aren't set to be the fastest GPUs out there, they are still looking seriously impressive. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And don't forget to try out Brilliant for free at brilliant.org/gamermelt. And as always, have a great day.